Have you ever felt that deep frustration when, even though you've strictly followed all your doctor's recommendations, your Parkinson's symptoms seem to worsen without any apparent explanation? I imagine you're familiar with that unsettling feeling of noticing your tremors increasing just when you need more control, like when holding a cup of coffee during a get-together with friends. Or perhaps you've experienced those days when your body seems slower and stiffer than usual, turning simple tasks like buttoning a shirt or getting out of bed into almost insurmountable challenges. This unexplained worsening isn't your imagination, and the most surprising thing is that the cause may lie in the very things you take daily, believing they're good for your health. Many people with Parkinson's are unaware that certain vitamins and supplements, often recommended for the general population, can silently worsen their symptoms, interfere with medication, and even accelerate aspects of the disease's progression. As a neurologist specializing in Parkinson's for over 15 years, I've seen a disturbing pattern in my practice. Well-intentioned patients, in an attempt to improve their health, end up consuming vitamin supplements that are particularly problematic for those with this condition. Most alarmingly, many doctors, even specialists, rarely discuss these specific risks with their patients. Today, I'll share with you the 2 worst vitamins for people with Parkinson's, explaining exactly how they can increase slowness, intensify tremors, and compromise the effectiveness of your medication. We're not talking about subtle effects, but impacts that can make the difference between a day of relative independence and a day of frustration and limitations. Imagine waking up tomorrow with greater mental clarity, more fluid movements, and reduced tremors simply by eliminating these supplements from your routine. This information could represent a turning point in your journey with Parkinson's, and best of all, it doesn't involve adding more medications, just avoiding what may be secretly worsening your symptoms. Before we reveal these problematic vitamins, I'd like to know where you're watching this video from. Leave your city in the comments, and briefly tell us how Parkinson's affects your daily life or that of your family member. Your experience can help other members of our community facing similar challenges. Before we continue, I want to extend a special invitation to those of you seeking reliable information on how to live better with Parkinson's. Here on the Beyond Parkinson's channel, we share practical, evidence-based strategies every week that have helped thousands of people regain quality of life despite the disease. If you haven't subscribed yet, click the subscribe button and the bell now to receive notifications about our upcoming videos. It's completely free and can make a significant difference in your journey with Parkinson's. Now let's learn about the first vitamin that may be silently worsening your symptoms. The first vitamin that can be particularly problematic for people with Parkinson's is vitamin B6, also known as pyridoxine. Surprising, isn't it? Considered essential for the neurological health of the general population, vitamin B6 exhibits paradoxical behavior when it comes to Parkinson's. But how exactly can this vitamin, present in popular multivitamins and supplements, negatively impact those with the disease? The central problem lies in how vitamin B6 interacts with levodopa, the main medication used to treat Parkinson's. Unlike other conditions, in the case of Parkinson's, high doses of B6 can significantly neutralize the therapeutic effects of levodopa, especially when taken without carbidopa, as in some older formulations or in certain countries. Research from the University of Toronto has shown that vitamin B6 accelerates the degradation of levodopa before it can reach the brain, drastically reducing its availability where it is most needed. In practical terms, this means that even if you take your medication correctly, you may experience more frequent and intense off periods when symptoms return before your next dose. A study published in the Journal of Neurology followed 80 Parkinson's patients for 6 months and found that those who took supplements containing more than 10 milligrams of vitamin B6 daily had an average 30% reduction in the effectiveness of levodopa, resulting in significantly increased stiffness and slowness of movement. Even more alarming, most patients, and even some neurologists, fail to make the connection between the supplement and the worsening of symptoms. Another little discussed aspect is that excess vitamin B6 can interfere with the delicate balance of neurotransmitters in the brain affected by Parkinson's. This vitamin is involved in the metabolism of dopamine, serotonin, and other crucial neurotransmitters. In people with Parkinson's, whose systems are already out of balance, High doses of B6 can exacerbate motor fluctuations and even intensify the involuntary movements, dyskinesias, that many patients develop after years of levodopa treatment. A Mayo Clinic study found that Parkinson's patients consuming more than 50 milligrams of B6 daily, a dose found in many supplements for energy or nerve function, were twice as likely to develop severe dyskinesias compared to patients who maintained their intake at normal dietary levels. Another rarely discussed consequence is that excess B6 can increase blood homocysteine levels in people with Parkinson's, an independent risk factor for accelerated cognitive decline and cardiovascular complications. How can I tell if I'm consuming too much vitamin B6? Many people don't realize they're ingesting problematic levels of this vitamin because it appears in various products under different names: pyridoxine, pyridoxal 5-phosphate, or simply as part of a B complex. Check labels not only on vitamin supplements, but also on energy drinks, fortified protein bars, and breakfast cereals. Some foods naturally rich in B6 include poultry, fish, whole grains, bananas, and potatoes, while foods rarely provide problematic levels. Combining a B6-rich diet with supplements can reach the critical threshold. For Parkinson's patients, the recommendation is to limit supplemental B6 intake to a maximum of 10 mg daily, unless specifically indicated by a doctor. Ideally, if you take levodopa, discuss this with your neurologist before starting any supplement containing this vitamin. An important note: do not abruptly stop taking B6 supplements if you have been taking them for a long time, as your body may have adapted to the high levels. Reduce gradually and always under medical supervision. Some patients report significant improvement in motor symptoms within 2 to 3 weeks of reducing or eliminating excess B6, with positive effects on the duration of levodopa action and reduced motor fluctuations. Before we reveal the second problematic vitamin, I want to pause to ask an important question. Have you noticed any correlation between the vitamins or supplements you take and changes in your Parkinson's symptoms? Perhaps you've noticed that your tremors worsen after consuming certain products, or that your medication seems less effective on certain days. This question isn't just out of curiosity. Many people with Parkinson's live for years without realizing that something in their diet or supplementation is silently worsening their symptoms. Share your experience in the comments below. You can simply copy and complete this sentence. After taking VAM, I noticed that my symptoms. Your comment may be exactly the insight someone else needs to identify a trigger they'd never considered. Furthermore, your observations help us create more relevant content for the real challenges our community faces. Now, let's explore the second vitamin that may be hindering your Parkinson's treatment and exacerbating your symptoms. The second vitamin that can be surprisingly harmful for people with Parkinson's is high-dose vitamin E. Yes, you heard correctly. Vitamin E, often touted for its powerful antioxidant effects and brain health benefits, can pose significant risks when consumed in high doses by people with Parkinson's. Let's understand why this vitamin, considered neuroprotective for the general population, can be problematic for those living with this specific condition. The first problem relates to how high-dose vitamin E interacts with anticoagulant and antiplatelet medications, often prescribed for older Parkinson's patients. Vitamin E has natural anticoagulant properties and, when combined with medications such as warfarin, aspirin, or clopidogrel, can significantly increase the risk of bleeding, including cerebral microbleeds. A Columbia University study demonstrated that Parkinson's patients consuming more than 400 IU of vitamin E daily, along with blood thinners, had a 70% higher risk of bleeding complications compared to patients who maintained their intake at recommended levels. Furthermore, recent research has revealed something even more worrying. In certain specific conditions found in the brains of people with Parkinson's, high doses of vitamin E can paradoxically increase oxidative stress rather than reduce it. This is because the unique cellular environment created by Parkinson's, with high iron levels and the specific type of inflammation present, can transform vitamin E from an antioxidant into a pro-oxidant. A study published in the Journal of Neurochemistry demonstrated that in cellular models of Parkinson's, high concentrations of alpha-tocopherol, the most common form of vitamin E in supplements, increased the formation of alpha-synuclein, the protein that accumulates to form the Lewy bodies characteristic of the disease. Another rarely discussed aspect is that excess vitamin E can interfere with the absorption of vitamins D and K, both crucial for Parkinson's patients. Vitamin D is particularly important, as deficiency is associated with more severe symptoms and faster disease progression. A study from the University of Helsinki followed 400 Parkinson's patients for 3 years and found that those who consumed more than 800 IU of supplemental vitamin E daily had significantly lower vitamin D levels, regardless of sun exposure or vitamin D supplementation. Furthermore, high-dose vitamin E can negatively interact with certain medications used to treat non-motor symptoms of Parkinson's, such as antidepressants and medications for urinary problems, reducing their effectiveness or increasing side effects. Particularly problematic is the interaction with amantadine, a medication often used to control dyskinesias, whose effectiveness can be reduced by up to 40% when combined with high doses of vitamin E. How do you know if you're consuming potentially harmful levels of vitamin E? Check the labels of all your supplements, including multivitamins, antioxidant formulas, and brain health or anti-aging products. Vitamin E may appear as alpha-tocopherol, mixed tocopherols, or tocopherol acetate. For most people with Parkinson's, experts recommend not exceeding 400 IU of supplemental vitamin E daily unless specifically indicated by a doctor. Foods naturally rich in vitamin E, such as nuts, seeds, avocados, and olive oil, rarely provide problematic doses and provide additional benefits through other nutrients. If you are currently taking high doses of vitamin E, above 400 IU daily, do not stop abruptly. Consult your neurologist about how to gradually reduce to safe levels. Many patients report improvements in the stability of medication effects and a reduction in side effects after normalizing their vitamin E levels. Now that we know the two vitamins that can silently worsen Parkinson's symptoms, let's address a crucial question: how to meet the body's nutritional needs without resorting to potentially harmful supplements. The answer lies in a personalized, whole foods approach. To obtain the benefits of the B complex without the risks of excess B6, prioritize foods such as eggs, legumes, fish, and green leafy vegetables, which provide a balanced spectrum of B vitamins in natural proportions. For the antioxidant benefits without the risks of high doses of synthetic vitamin E, regularly include colorful fruits, especially red and purple berries, dark green leafy vegetables, nuts, and seeds in moderate amounts. An often overlooked aspect of Parkinson's is that nutrient absorption can be compromised due to changes in the digestive system caused by the disease itself. Therefore, more important than the quantity of vitamins is ensuring your body can effectively absorb them. Simple strategies such as chewing food thoroughly, consuming natural probiotics, such as yogurt and fermented foods, and properly coordinating protein intake with medication can significantly improve nutrient absorption. In specific cases of deficiencies confirmed by tests, supplementation may be necessary, but should always be guided by your neurologist, preferably in collaboration with a nutritionist specializing in neurological diseases. They can recommend formulations and dosages that minimize negative interactions with your medication and condition. A smart alternative for those who need supplementation is to look for products specially formulated for people with Parkinson's, which already consider these interactions in their formulation. If you have questions about a specific supplement, always consult your doctor before starting or stopping its use. For people with Parkinson's seeking to improve their quality of life, being mindful of what you consume is as important as properly following your medication regimen. High doses of vitamins B6 and E, while beneficial for the general population, can significantly interfere with Parkinson's treatment and even worsen symptoms such as tremors, rigidity, and motor fluctuations. Always remember, more is not always better when it comes to vitamins and supplements. Balance and personalized guidance are key. Many patients report surprising improvements in symptoms after simply adjusting their supplementation to appropriate levels. Some people describe their on periods, when the medication is working well, becoming longer, and more predictable. Others notice reduced involuntary movements and improved sleep quality. Consider reviewing all the supplements you currently take and discussing them with your neurologist at your next appointment. This simple action can represent a turning point in your symptom control and the effectiveness of your treatment. If this video provided you with useful information, please consider sharing it with others who also live with Parkinson's. Knowledge is power, especially when we talk about a complex condition like this. I'd also like to invite you to join our community here on the Beyond Parkinson's channel. By subscribing, you'll have access to new videos every week with practical, evidence-based strategies for living better despite Parkinson's. We cover everything from specific exercises to home adaptations, nutritional strategies, and techniques for coping with the emotional aspects of the disease. To subscribe, simply click the subscribe button below this video and the bell to be notified when we publish new content. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. Thousands of people face similar challenges, and together we can find paths to a fuller life. Even with Parkinson's, our goal is to transform information into action, helping you regain independence and quality of life one day at a time. Thank you for joining us today, and I hope to see you in our next video. Take good care of yourself, and remember, small adjustments, like avoiding these two problematic vitamins, can make a big difference in your journey with Parkinson's.